Me and her together, we've been together for like a year or two, but I proposed to her, and during that time, you know, we plan to get married in Houston. I take care of a lot of people. I'm never letting one woman control of all the hard work I've done in my life.
Facts.
None of these motherfuckers was in the gym with me,
Facts.
right?
Facts.
So if I always tell myself, whoever I'm married to, they signing the prenup off top. It's not even a second guess. So me and her had to talk about it. So we get the prenup back at least 3-4 months before the wedding, right? I give it to her. Granted, when I give it to her, she shouldn't be surprised by it because me and her sat down and agreed up on the prenup. A month passed, like 2 months before the wedding. I'm like, yo, look, we need to get that prenup signed so we can go and, send it in and get all that taken care of. So when we get down there to Houston, we ain't got to worry about it. I tell her that like 2 or 3 times. It's a month. That was 2 months before the wedding. It's a month before the wedding. She's like, I'm going to sign it. 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 I'm like, cool. You can sign it. But look, during that time, we making arrangements for the wedding, right? Because, you still got to plan shit. So, I love her. And I'm going to keep it real with you. I was in love with her. And we was building a family. So I'm like, okay, cool. I ain't going to make no big deal of it. I went with planning the wedding. I didn't stop. I kept planning the wedding. So as we planned for the wedding, she from New York. I'm from Texas. I'm from Port Arthur, which is an hour from Houston where we get married. I want my pastor to do it. He right there. It'll save us some money. Da-da-da-da. She is adamant about this certain pastor doing the thing, right? Some other girl brought the pastor name to her attention. This a pastor she's never seen. So I'm like, cool. It's her wedding. I ain't got no problem. Keep in mind, remember this pastor, right? I spent about $400,000 on the wedding, y'all. About $400K, right? Now we had 2 weeks before the wedding. Everything planned, we ready to go. I'm like, look, bro, why I got to keep asking you about this prenup, bro? It ain't like you don't know what's on it. Like, what motives? This is what I told her. What you up to? What motives you on? I ain't on nothing. I just ain't had time to sign up, planning a wedding and all this.
So for some context, the man we're talking about here is Steven Jackson, a former NBA star whose story highlights an important lesson for anyone considering marriage, especially for successful men like him. As Jackson himself put it, he's been taking care of his family, his friends, and a lot of people throughout his career. He's built something for himself, and as he wisely said, he's not about to let one woman take everything he worked for away from him. This brings us to the crucial topic of prenups, a step many men overlook until it's too late. Jackson's story is a perfect example of why it's essential to protect your assets before getting married, especially when you're successful.
This the day of the wedding. Wake up that morning, I'm getting dressed. In the back of my mind, I'm all thinking about is this damn prenup, right? That's all I'm thinking about. This why Steph Marbury and Mike Bibby my brothers, all right, for life. We in the back, we walk to the back room, and the priest come in, the preacher come in with his assistant, I guess. And then my nanny come back in there with a spook look on her face, like she still like she pulled me to the side and she still ain't signed it. Oh, I ain't getting married. Steph was like, she ain't signed a prenup. What we even here for? I'm like, yeah, dog, I ain't doing it. The preacher steps up. He's like, hold on. He say, now hold on. I know you love this girl. Don't make a drastic decision. I think you should just let God handle it. I say, huh? I think you should just let God handle it. Me, as a pastor, I don't believe in prenups. Nah, I know why she was fighting for you.
That's funny.
You don't believe in prenups. Nah, it all makes sense. I ain't getting married. Damn what you believe in. I put everything in God's hand. And God is telling me to put the pen in her hand and make her sign this goddamn prenup. That's what God's telling me. So God telling me and you 2 different things, partner. As that's going on, Steph Marbury grows crazy. Hell nah. No, we ain't doing it. Hell no, it ain't going on. Steph go crazy. Mike Bibby walks, are you serious, Steve? Out of here. Everybody, no. Bruh, this preacher has the nerves to sit there for about 5 or 10 minutes and try to convince me that God told that he don't believe in prenups, so I shouldn't believe in them. Listen, bro, we ain't in the same tax bracket, first of all.
Yeah, it seems to me that preacher was paid really well to say something like that. Let God handle it, I get it. I do believe that everything is ultimately in God's hands, but God also says we shouldn't throw ourselves into ruin. You don't blindly walk into danger just because you think it'll work out. That's not faith, it's negligence. Listen, even someone who's blind could see the bad intentions here. If she truly loved him and wanted to build a life with him, she would have signed that prenup without hesitation. Why? Because she knows she's marrying a high-value man. And if she truly valued him, she would understand that. She should be grateful and lucky to be with a man like this, one who has worked hard to build his success. But anyway, let's continue.
Wedding off. When everybody trying to figure out what's going on, we all get back to my room. I break down crying, dog. Honest to God truth, I can't lie. Because I was hurt. Because I was I wanted to marry her, bro. This is the honest to God truth. I break down crying, dog, for about a good 20, 30 minutes. Mike Bibby mom walk up to me, dog, and it's bringing tears to my eyes today. She walk up to me. She grabbed her bare hand. Mike Bibby's mom wiped the snot and all this from my face, everything from my face. And she picked my chin up and she said, "You became a man today." Nigga. As I'm wiping my tears and stuff off, you know what I'm saying, getting ready to go downstairs and party, somebody from her side comes to my room and say, "Hey, Steve, hey, hold on, just calm down. She want to talk to you." All right, I go talk to her. So look, I get in the room. She's still in her wedding dress, and she crying and right? So soon as I walk in the room, she hard down crying. "I'll sign it, I'll sign it. Da-da-da-da, I'll sign it. I'm whatever, I'll sign it. Listen, I was born at night, but not last night. One thing I know, anytime somebody signs anything where they crying under any type of stress or any real emotional or something like that, that shit can get thrown out.
That's a fact. Anyone who signs something under pressure, it gets thrown out in court. We all know that. And from where I'm standing, it looks like this whole thing is part of a calculated plan to ruin this man's life. First off, she was the one pushing the prenup away, making excuses like she was too busy planning the wedding. But then she brings in a preacher to speak on her behalf, manipulating the situation so she doesn't have to sign it. And the final part of her plan. She starts crying, begging, and saying she'll sign it under pressure. Come on, anyone with a clear head can see through that. From my perspective, this isn't just a woman having second thoughts or a moment of vulnerability. This looks like a deliberate strategy. She's trying to get this man to marry her without the protection of a prenup so she can take everything he's worked for. She doesn't seem to care about building something together. She's focused on what she can take from him once the marriage happens.
Remember I told you Steph was turned up. I'm talking about, dog, this nigga Steph, my Marbury is crazy, dog. Soon as we get to downstairs, he already in the DJ booth. As people walk in, guess what's the first song they played? "She gives me money when I'm in need. Yeah, she's a trifling friend indeed. Oh yeah, she's a gold digger. Way over town. That's good to me." Oh, dog. You know, I'm going to keep it all 1,000 with y'all. After we had party at the hotel, me and all my partners getting ready to go out that night. Two of her main squeezes that was there with her was with us that night. And I'm going to keep it funky. I downed one of them.
At the end of the day, I'm glad this man saw right through her games. He's smart, and as a family man, that tells you a lot about his character. He's responsible, and he knows how to protect what he's worked hard for. This is exactly what happens when you try to bite off more than you can chew. Now, she's not married, she didn't get anything, and she's left regretting her decisions. That's why I always tell you, fellas, be cautious and be careful if you plan on getting married, especially if you have assets and resources, because let's be real, most modern women today are just interested in your money. It's as simple as that.
Real talk, then we're gonna go back to the party.
What?
I broached the subject of prenup with your dad at our cake tasting over 3 weeks out.
Is this something you really want to get into right now?
I would love to just make a little headway.
Your investors want the security of knowing that I will not have majority stake in the business, and if we separate without a prenup, that's a possibility.
No, you'll never own a majority, period.
I quit my full-time job to work for Loverboy, so we need to make sure that we both benefit from this agreement. What do I get out of it?
You wanna have a fight?
No,
right
I
now,
don't.
in the middle of our party?
No, I'm not. You're
All
the one
right,
that
then
brought
lay
this
off
up.
the
You're the
CEO.
one that brought this up, and you know how I feel about it. So I don't know why you would expect this conversation to go any different. Why would you want to set me up where I got
What do
nothing.
you mean set me up?
I want you to present me with reasons why we should agree
But
to
then
a
I have to
prenup.
explain something to you as if I'm a teacher.
Yes!
I don't want to be the teacher, babe.
Then I'm not signing anything. If you're so adamant about this prenup and you're thinking about the potential if we separate, then I need to think about the potential if we separate as well.
Dude, I'm done, you know? I have a nice weekend.
You see, fellas, at the end of the day, it all comes down to money and what she can take from you. It's sad, but it's the reality we're facing. If you're a man who's built a business over the years, poured your blood, sweat, and tears into it, then you are entitled to that business. No one should be able to take it from you, not even take half of it. You've worked hard for that, and the last thing you want is someone coming along to snatch what's yours. So do whatever you can to protect your business, your assets, and your future, at all costs.
If you have a prenup or if you have some sort of contract, you're already going into the relationship with an expiration date. You're thinking, I'm gonna break up with you.
Ladies, your strongest weapon is your intuition. If somebody's handing you a contract on day one saying, if it don't work, your ass is out the door, your ass needs to be out the door on day one.
If you don't put your all into A.
You have to go into that relationship 100% committed, not thinking, okay, if it doesn't work out, this is what I'm gonna do.
There are plenty of women who have busted their butts for their men. They have put into that relationship. Why is it that after 5, 10 years, the relationship doesn't work? You're gonna throw me out of the house? No, I'm keeping the house, the car, I'm keeping everything. Your ass is leaving the house.
Amen.
It's a shame that we're clapping for nonsense and ignorance. This is the clown world we live in today, ladies and gentlemen. Let's be real, if the roles were reversed and she were the successful one, she'd be the first to demand a prenup before marriage. Why? Because it makes sense. She would want to protect her resources, her assets, and her money. They only talk about logic and facts when it benefits them. Here's the truth. If a woman knows she's marrying a high-value, successful man and refuses to sign a prenup, then don't marry him. Your intentions are clear to him. You're not in it for the right reasons. Why would any high-value man take that kind of risk and marry without a prenup? It's not about being cynical, it's about being smart and protecting what you've worked hard for.
We're saying that it's better for there to be a 50-50 custody, right? Maybe the female, just looking at the other sides, backed against the wall and going, gosh, if I don't keep my children more, which I'm used to doing because I've been a stay-at-home mom and I don't have any career basis, I go out there and I work, I'm not going to be able to afford this apartment or whatever for my children if I don't make the split difference so that he can pay me more so that I can have the amount of income to survive.
Child support has nothing to do with your ability to earn. Child support
No, I
has
didn't
to do
say it
with
had anything to do with
no,
ability to earn. I'm saying that the
No, you
female
did.
didn't have ability to earn, possibly. She's making an error judgment, but with a financial need to go after her ex for more custody, possibly because she thinks, and she's right, she doesn't have the capacity to go make the living on her own.
So
Does that
basically
make
what you're
sense?
saying is that there's a mother who doesn't have the ability to make a decision on the best interest of her children
No.
because she's putting money.
No,
That's
no.
exactly what you're saying.
No, you're twisting my.
What she's saying here is pretty clear. I'm lazy, I don't want to work, and I want his child support to cover all my needs. But here's the thing, child support is meant for the child, not for the ex-wife's personal expenses. Asking for more child support simply because you don't feel like working is just lazy, broke behavior. I'm being 100% honest here. Expecting someone else to cover your lifestyle when you're perfectly capable of working doesn't make sense. It's about responsibility and fairness.
Anna, you heard of prenups?
I have, yeah.
You have a boyfriend now?
I don't know.
If your future husband or fiance asked you to do a prenup before marriage, would you be opposed or offended?
No, I think I would support it.
All right, how come?
I mean, I know divorce rates are pretty high, and I absolutely would want to protect my interests. I mean, I'm planning on making a lot of money when I'm done with school, so I don't want him snatching any from me.
What are you majoring in? What are you gonna do?
I'm a history grad student, so I'm not going to make any money, but there's a dream.
How are you gonna get rich?
I mean, normally I say marrying rich, but that's not going to work out here. You know, I'll write a TV show or something. I'll do the next Game of Thrones.
Very nice. All right, and so if you do get rich, you'll probably ask for a prenup.
I think so, yeah. I mean, I think there's nothing wrong with that as long as you're both, like, going into it, like, eyes open. So.
Finally, here's a woman speaking with some logic. At least she's not delusional, she understands how the world works today. And this ties back to a point I've made before: a prenup makes perfect sense for a woman who's successful and has a lot of resources. No one bats an eye when a woman wants a prenup to protect her assets, but when a man wants one, he gets shamed for it. The double standards surrounding prenups are absolutely crazy.